Hello everyone and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. We have the second in a best of three between Team Rara and Team Kattivalk / Artemis. So those are the knights in this 2v2 Knight and Squires tournament match. And the Squires are Papa Pingo and Serbian Eagle 1331. And I have Deep Sea Sasha here with me again today to help us get through this second match on Hell in a Very Small Place. So Sasha, tell me what you see so far in this opener, the things that you'd be thinking about in a 2v2 on Hell.
Hey, Sasha here, and what I'd be thinking about always on this map is a Bravo push, and especially on the 2v2 since the map is so dense, so like any terrain counts, and since it's so dense, it's so much easier to hold that terrain.
So by Bravo push, do you mean like what's happening right here?
Yes.
Do you mean going around or like going through?
Well, both. I mean, just taking over the sector. But ideally to go around. But the point is taking over the sector since it's so hard to get back into Bravo.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And, you know, from Red's perspective on this map, if they just never get into Bravo, then they're effectively fighting over the remaining two zones with one zone for free for Blue. So it can be really, really important. And it looks like Artemis and Rara, the two more experienced players here, are going head-to-head in Golf. T64Bs... Chumats. Blue Dragons from Rara. And what, Commonwealth from Papa Pingo?
Looks like it.
Looks like another red from Artemis, just like last game. We see Zanshi, CC, T64BVs. Red unspec, maybe.
The Kiyomaris are actually getting kind of hurt by the T64B horde.
Yeah, I mean, this goes to what you were saying last game about taking that engagement at less than max ranges, right?
Yeah, but they needed to get the kill shot.
Yeah. I mean, Kiyomaru escaping alive is pretty rough. And Blue has a fair amount. That tracked Rapier is in a really bad spot, and this could be crushing if Serbian Eagle can get Proletary 90 over into Bravo around the backside. That could be really rough. Personally, right now, I think this looks a little bit red favored here as we get past the opener. With the one caveat being that the Kiyus are still alive. What do you think?
Yeah, it was my mistake in Golf. I thought a T64B had died, but I think something else is killed right now, but he still has one alive, and I thought both had died already.
So you have one T64B, two T64BVs, one with slight damage, but honestly, not nearly as badly damaged as that Kiyomaru.
Yeah, like, he had tempo opportunity. It's hard, I'm not saying, well, maybe he did, if the Kiyomaru isn't healed, since he's basically down to one Kiyomaru until that second one gets healed back up.
Yeah, of course, the big problem I think for Red here is double Chuma. Chuma are very high base accuracy, and that can be crushing stuff. And these are Padobranci, which I'm not actually sure I like that. I think I'd almost rather have Proletary 90 back here, because the boom bar, well, it's an Eric's, right? So this is guided. It can struggle a little bit in Woods engagements where the Padobranci get stunned, while as Proletary 90's launcher is fire and forget, right? So
yeah, plus the platform they came in, and they're just cheaper overall.
Ooh, this...
And that terrain, definitely prefer the Proletary.
Yeah, yeah. This could be pretty good. The Leopards from Papa Pingo. Good coordination here with Rara's Habyung and Yebagun. Oh, 1-2, yep. 1-2, nice. And I think Serbian Eagle, if he's going to invest this heavily, needs to go. Like, these Proletary, they need to be moving right now, if not, you know, yesterday kind of thing, to really put pressure on Bravo. If you're going to put your opener somewhere, you have to do something with it, which sounds, you know, really obvious, but you'd be surprised sometimes. People put their openers places and they just sort of wait, right?
Yeah, but it's so important in Bravo. Like, the instant you discover it, you need to move as fast as possible, because that Bravo is right next to the spawn sector, and you know there's so much. That's not fun terrain to fight over if they start reinforcing it.
I do like this. Look at this field of M41A1s. Thou shalt not pass unnoticed. But they still do need to deal with this, and that's going to be a big problem. Backing out. Look at that.
I mean, look how many men are there. It's 5 Emerald. But like Norforce, RBS, like there's nothing there. Like the Padobranci alone could clear all this out, much less everything.
Yeah, but... yeah. That needs.
Oh,
this
that is
needs
loaded
to...
though. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, this looks like probably Pioneers in the. Oh, in the minigun, we have the minigun. Beautiful. I've always wanted to see that thing in action, and I just don't play Commonwealth enough to really do it. And, ooh, oh, T64 BV pick. Oh, that's brutal. Brutal, brutal stuff.
Yeah, this is looking super rough.
Which is interesting because even like, it wasn't that many minutes ago that we said this looks red favored, and I think maybe that has to do with where their opener went versus how it was used, right? Like this opener here was part of why I said that, and it just waited too long. You apply this pressure at the 2-minute mark, and these Assault Pioneers aren't here, right? But everything else still is. There's Proletary 90, lots of boxes. Padobranci had just gotten around. It can make a really big difference. Plus, I mean, Blue has the points to buy the Mirage 110A and things like that. And granted, it's cheap, but you let your opponents get income, they're gonna buy stuff that you won't like, right? So,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, is this Commonwealth mech from Papa Pingo? Kind of looks like it.
I haven't seen anything with wheels yet, so.
Yeah, and this is really high veterancy on Commandos 90, which honestly on this map I like that pick. Commandos 90 are a brutal woods fighting unit.
Yeah, but Downvote Commandos 90 is on a team game on this map is.
Yeah, but they get the mech vet bonus anyway, so they're gonna trade really well against unspec units, and you get higher availability with that.
Yeah, they're still gonna like win either way. Like it's still 8 squads of Commandos 90s.
I would not want to be these Panzerjägeri right now. It's just let's get out of Dodge. Let's get out of Dodge. Now it does look like there's a CV here from Artemis. There's a CV here from Rara, and more Mirages. This is the other problem with Bravo in the mid game. It's so easy for Blue to bomb this really effectively. It's all woods. A couple of bombs, a little bit of mortar support, and some infantry, and the hardest position of all of Bravo to hold is right here. If you can get past it into the town, Red gets a lot more grip. It's part of why it's so important to do that, but look at this. That's a lot of pressure. Yebagun, Kyorukus, KFEs, Kiyomarus. I would have liked to see a helicopter, honestly, from both sides. Having a helicopter for Red farther back around here, able to shoot rocket pods in, and you know the same thing from Blue. You set one up maybe right there. I mean, granted there's a tor, but that's going to be really difficult line of sight through the woods. So I think getting a little bit of that combined arms support would make all this infantry fighting much easier for the team that decided to do it.
Yeah.
So okay, if you were Red right now, how would you focus on getting back into a dominant position in this game?
Well, it's not like Red should be winning Bravo right now. It's just that it's been more lack of alacrity on their part.
Right, and so Mechazavana, Emraz, I'd almost say they need an ASF. The Mirages have been nearly constant since they've come out. And we haven't seen Ground A. Oh, okay, there's Ground AA, Neva M1T. Honestly, yeah. I wouldn't put that over here. I'd put it like there-ish. That way it can get more front coverage without going into deep woods that makes line of sight hard. And
that's another reason why when you're doing this push, you want the element of surprise and to pull off as fast as possible, because we're going to get plane spam to death. So I'm sure you usually have some AA, but that's mainly for anti-helicopters. Like, unless you're bringing a lot, like, the plane spam's still going to overrun you. But like when they're that close.
Has Pingo bought 4, or do they just reload that quickly? I've never used that plane. I really don't know.
Well, what's their payload? Is it
6 like small bombs? We'll check the next time.
Fast reload.
Yeah, it could be. Thermomig, I do like this. That's a lot of concentrated infantry right here. So Serbian Eagle getting a nice MiG. Oh, very nice placement. Very nice placement right there. Oh, okay, let's take a look. 6 10HE, yeah, 6 10HE bombs. Man. It's a decent payload for the point cost. Oh, Neva M1T. This is such an awkward AA piece. Like, it's nice because it's non-radar, but it's very expensive to only get 1 missile per pass. Oh no.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah. it feels like both games, at some point, the blue players have just started moving and and not stopped, and we're definitely seeing that. We saw that before in Bravo in 1v1 Patty. We're seeing it now in Golf as the red 4 CV is killed. Now 100 points of tick to 0 is not nothing, especially on this map, and if red can prevent a tick, it's not like they need to hold all of these positions, but they do need to hold one or the other, and losing Golf like this means that Bravo really does need to be well in hand. And it does look like Serbian Eagle is making more progress in that direction, definitely getting the better of Papa Pingo here in that Bravo fight. I think mostly because of the Thermomig. I'm just not sure it'll be in time.
Yeah, in Golf they should have retreated a lot sooner and just like focused on keeping their army alive and maybe counterattack later. Because if they trade Golf or Bravo, that's fine at the end of the day.
Well, just
you can play on from that.
the only question I have about that is, like, look at these Commandos 90. They have not stopped moving. This is the same quad stack that unloaded here and then just swept in a blue tide all the way down and through. And I really don't know how red was supposed to have stopped those. So, like, yeah, retreating out would have been good, but at some point you have to deal with the problem. I'm not sure how they would have dealt with the problem. Like, I don't even know if Pingo was microing these. For all I know, he got him over here and then clicked attack move and down here, and it might well have looked the exact same, right?
Does he have BMPTs in his deck? I mean,
I don't know if red unspec gets BMPTs. I think they might be. Are those prototyped? I want to say they are.
they might be actually.
Yeah. I do. So the Mista S, buying Artie when your frontline is under stress can be a questionable decision sometime. But now that it's here, this thing needs to get value, and it can. At 7 HE, it's a very capable howitzer, but it needs to get kills, and oh my goodness gracious. Oh man, you hate to see it. Blue up to a +2 here, 28 minutes left, but a +2 will make absolute mincemeat out of that 100-point lead, and I am not sure. You know, in some of these games, we've really seen it come down to the squire on squire engagements, where like the knights will sort of stalemate with each other for a while. And last game we saw a bit of that, with Artemis able to hold Rara back more than Serbian Eagle was able to hold back Papa Pingo. But this match is different. Now Serbian Eagle is really pressuring Pingo, and Artemis has just been beaten by Rara in Golf pretty convincingly. And it's just a little bit interesting to see the dynamic change match to match.
Yeah, usually I would say it's funny since I was thinking about this too, and in my experience, I think the Knights tend to stalemate more than the rookies do against each other, and as a consequence, how good the rookies are and how they match up against each other is a little bit more important. But it's not every game; it's just a generalization.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm really curious why that is, right? Like, the more experienced players are generally the ones who play ranked a lot more, although neither Artemis nor Rara do. And so that sort of, no, I'm slightly better, no, I'm slightly better, and because of rank this, that, and the other is very common to hear, but it hasn't been proved out when you get past that 1v1 scale. It hasn't really seemed to translate into the impact in a team game all the time, because it's not just 1 versus 1. There are other considerations, and teamwork is a huge component. I do like the Plowman, but here again we have a lot of backline buys, and the front line is, you know what, no, I take that back. Padobranci, T55s, nice kills. Serbian Eagle's doing a very good job. I just wish it had been sooner. That's my only complaint right now. Like, this has been fine, it just needed to have started maybe 3 or 4 minutes sooner.
Like his situation in Bravo, this is what it should have looked like 35 minutes in, not 25 minutes in.
Right, and
if
for
it was
anybody,
like if he just gone instead of waiting.
Right, and for anybody kind of wondering, like, okay, but how do you deal with all the points that we saw Blue bring in? Sasha, and you can confirm if I'm right in this, but if I'm interpreting you correctly, like, that additional speed, you wouldn't have had to deal with that. And so this position was possible 5 minutes in from red.
Yeah, like, ideally, like, the planes can be a problem, but, like, you just killed them so fast in Bravo that's, like, it's so hard to get in that even if you don't lose some stuff, the planes, it's not that big a deal.
Gotcha. And I would say just one thing for Serbian Eagle in case he's watching this. Whenever you get this far up, I really do recommend having anti-air, and that's exactly why. So that Kahu coming in to prove my point. If you get anti-air up to here, you'll get rid of Blue's ability to respond with either helicopters or planes or any sort of flexible, fast response, and it really helps lock this down and avoid things like that M84A getting picked off for not much. Oh no. Ah, man. This is what it feels like when the line collapses.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious sakes alive. Boom. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, so we've played a bit more in this. There's a Kiyumaru, the other one is on 1 strength. Bravo has been taken for red, Golf has been taken for blue, and I'm going to ask you the same question because it feels like red is still on the back foot here. If you were on the red 4 team, what would you be doing right now to get back into this game the best you can?
Okay, well, are any of those transports in Bravo amphibious?
You know, I don't know. There aren't really... Well, yeah, the out tabs are.
Like, this is situations looking desperate. Maybe,
Oh,
maybe
dead
get
Q.
those paddle branchy across.
Dead Q.
Oh, wow, that's good.
M84A, 19 AP scaling. There we go.
Well, since the key you said, okay, it's grind your way back into golf pretty much.
Yeah.
For Charlie.
I think I'd actually go for Foxtrot first, especially so. Oh, I hate when it does that. So there's 2 M84As here. The Kiyu has just been lost, and red. I think. Yeah, here's what I would say. I think this Thermomig needs to start working on Rara's units on the other side. And I think they need to really put pressure on this part of Fox, and then when you retake Golf, go from 2 directions. Go from here, and from here at the same time. But that also means that you have higher confidence that you won't lose your Charlie CV again, because that cannot happen if you want to have a good mid game and late game. Ooh.
Oh, you're right, because the Foxtrot push like synergizes with the Bravo push. They can both support each other with fire support, and yeah, then you go into golf and echo from there.
Although, you know, this was nice. That's a lot of dead points from Papa Pingo.
Yeah, do you see how hard it is to get back in here?
Yeah, man. And what was that? Probably about 100 points from Pingo that just got thermomigged and T55s and end of story. So it looks like Kattivalk / Artemis is going into Fox. I don't like these M84As on their own here though, because Blue Dragons can take 24 AP launchers, right? So, oh, this just feels a little bit risky. And if the Q gets a side shot,
Yeah, this is...
it could be on front armor though. Oh, miss. No, it was a hit. Yep, 1 down. 2 damage from what? Huh. So I like that, but the infantry screen needs to be there for red. And it just wasn't. But you know, that happens, right? Like, people forget. Oh, no. Okay. Goodness gracious, that's a lucky T64 BV. So now we actually do see blue doing what I was suggesting red do. So Papa Pingo's Mirages are coming over now and dealing with Artemis's troops. And we haven't seen the Thermomig really split into that other side. Oh. Nice hit. Ah, not enough. Not enough. Just not enough. Okay. I think one of the biggest hurdles is going to be how do you deal with the supers from an experienced player when the red 4 experienced player's heaviest tank is the BV?
I mean, that's more than enough on this map. Like the 2 M84s, they could have killed a Kiyomari if they just both shot the Kiyomari instead of shooting other things.
That is fair. That is fair. And we kind of saw it happen here, but the first hit there was from a Chumat, and the finishing shot was from an M84. And that is significantly cheaper, I guess. So yeah,
Or
that's a
like
fair answer.
like we're at the beginning of the match in golf in the opener. Like the Hugh Mario went down to 1 HP, and either all of them or 164B had died at that particular point. It's just that he was getting out microed after that and was losing his tanks and not getting kills on the Hugh Marios or anything.
Yeah.
Like he had to get, like the capability is there. It's just the blue team is playing well with their tanks.
Although, having just finished the sentence blue team is playing well, I'm really surprised at how little blue left to lock down the far side of golf. That feels pretty light to me.
There was a Young or two, and I thought they were full health, and I'm guessing they got Thermo Mig or something.
I don't see the leftovers from that. It might have just been fire support.
No, that was a couple minutes ago still even.
Okay. So Chengsu. Oh, please
Those
tell
are
me this doesn't
still-
happen twice. If that happens twice, I would just... Man, that's like break your controller levels of... Oh, really? Oh no, we're going on a drive. Oh man.
On logistics.
Yeah. The I can't make sure I keep it, but you're not getting it back drive right there. I've done that to somebody before. Not my finest moment, but... Oh, please
They're
no.
actually gonna get it, aren't they?
I really hope not. Red needs to protect this.
Did he actually Q move it through the out of the forest?
I don't know. Like, so the Hera 2 has shot at it. It's still at 7 strength, and yep, second 2-point CV. Oh my goodness. Oh
Also
my goodness
taking
gracious.
GCV moment.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, imagine if that was a full-on tank CV that just would be able to handle Soching Su, because it's a 20 RPM, 16 AP launcher, but it's not enough AP to even two-shot something like a Leopard 2, which admittedly that's blue for, right? But what tank CVs can red unspec take? Oh, apparently this one.
Well, even a base T72 CV will win that fight.
Yeah,
Probably.
M84 AK definitely will. And you end up saving points in the long run, as we've just seen. Oof.
Ouch. And force out the missiles.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that Blue Dragons is an excellent deck in team games because of how oppressive the anti-tank tools are.
Please don't tell me that kills the... Oh my god.
Stop feet. No. Oh my god.
I don't even have words.
No. If it gets this drop too as well, I'm just gonna cry. Like. Okay, finally. Thank goodness. And we see the Thermomig coming over. That is excellent. A little bit of a missed target though. It needs to be centered on the town, not in front of it. I'm really struggling. Sochung Su 85 with 3 CV kills. I can't do that with shocks most games, right? Like, goodness gracious sakes alive. Oh man.
Yeah, it's just...
1, 2,
I don't know,
3.
like they sent the Hera over, so they knew about it by that point even. I don't know.
You know, sometimes these things happen, right? Especially in stressful games. I know I've made my fair share of just, did I really make that mistake? And then, yeah, it turns out later on, yeah.
Well, I'm going to assume it was a communication issue and there's a disconnect about one player thought the other player had killed it already by the time their CV was coming.
Yeah, that's fair. And so the teams have been set since I think mid-November, but Artemis and Serbian Eagle weren't an original pairing. So when you mention it, it's a communication thing. Rara Pingo have had more time to play together than Artemis Serbian Eagle. So these teams are not, you know, teams by request or people who have played with each other for a long time. They are made for tournament balancing. And it could well be that just the familiarity with a particular teammate can go a long way, and the ability to communicate with your teammate can go a long way, and yeah, that could be exactly what we're seeing there. So M84 AK from Serbian Eagle now going into Charlie. That will make this zero-tick game, but this M84 AK is very not safe. Diggers, M-Raw, all mech vet sort of stuff, and Diggers, I don't know. The Bren L4 is not particularly impressive. Is this even Commonwealth? Is this just Aussie? I don't know, do you... This might be Aussie mech.
Yeah, no, it's just Anzac.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, Anzac, not Aussie, I suppose. I was just thinking of them as Australian, but it is more than just Australia, so... Yeah. That's called How Can I Get the Most Commandos 90? That's funny. That's really funny. SASR aren't bad either. I mean, well, okay, they're kind of bad. M60 E3 for 35 points. Oof.
Yeah, I don't know why they're 35 instead of 30. Like, maybe there's some stat I'm missing, but they don't seem exceptional.
Yeah, but I mean, not every unit has to be exceptional or, like, exactly equally balanced, I think. Some units some coalitions should pay a little bit more for the same capabilities. If every deck had the same capabilities and same price, then they'd just all be the same deck. So, I'm not sure I'm too bothered by it, although I would say if you have access to other commandos, take them over SASR. The M3's range is not worth paying 35 points for with a bad tertiary. Because these guys just lose to anything with a mini-me, right?
Probably. Yeah, like the small arm is short range, like damn.
Yeah. It's a little rough. Definitely a little bit rough. The AUG Para. It's fine in the woods though, the AUG.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Like, is it silenced at least? Probably not.
I don't think so. And then, like, just look at how those guys are going to trade into Proletary, because it's not well. 2 units of Proletary are 5 points cheaper than a single unit of SASR. My goodness.
The Proletary have what, better MGs? Like, not better accuracy, but I'm pretty sure their rate of fire is probably better.
I thought the M72 was better than the M60E3.
But yeah, they're same accuracy on the MG2.
Yeah, 40,
Wow.
40. Better stabilizer, but that's not really what most people are going to go in for there. 27M? Ooh. No, not able to get... Probably a line of sight thing. The one issue with doing these tourney games on neutral, which I think is a good thing to keep it on neutral, is that we don't see, you know, I had line of sight, I lost line of sight, things like that, which if we were looking from either team's individual perspective for like what they did right or wrong, min-maxing sort of thing, we'd need to know what their line of sight looked like, and we just don't. But I think having a holistic picture of the map is something that has proven to be a good thing the last couple of tournament replays, so we'll keep doing that instead. And these Mirages, man. This makes me want to play some Anzac Mech, honestly. Like, it just looks like fun.
It's a fun deck.
Yeah. Mirages. They should get the F-111C as well, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. My one criticism of Pingo here, I think, in this section of woods will be that the SASR were probably mostly wasted points compared to just buy more Commandos 90. The Mini-Me, the F-88, the Carl Gustav M2, it's everything you need to fight in the woods cost effectively here. And they're a cracked unit. Especially at mech veterancy, and they're downvoted for reasons that you have more, so buy them and use them when you can get, you know, 20 points, 40 points for 2 versus 35 points for 1 SSR. So
the Commandos have a better small arm,
a better tertiary.
Yeah, and better LMG and the same anti-tank.
No, so actually 2 differences there. The Commandos 90's small arm has higher range, 525 as opposed to, what was it, 400 something for the SASR?
Oh, I didn't see the rate of fire, my bad.
Yeah, but the SASR's secondary is the Carl Gustav M3, not the M2. So they do have 2 additional AP, and they have the 875 meter range instead of 700. So it is a more capable secondary. It just comes at the cost of the primary and the tertiary. It's a heavy price to pay.
Yeah, since it's almost twice as expensive.
What's kind of cool though is, like, if you could imagine this game just went a little bit differently and red was at an equal point in golf, then this cap of Bravo from red, I mean, blue has given up trying to retake it with good reason. That could have been a winning strategy, and I really do like red's strategy here. It just looks like the golf trading was bad enough that it just wasn't enough to save him. So
Yeah.
nobody wins every game, right? So you know, even the best plan can fail.
that's another reason why this map is imbalanced. Because let's say you do the Bravo push,
Mhm.
it's so good, but you can't really easily rotate your units. While you should take over golf, you just go on the Foxtrot.
Yeah, and that actually, I think that's a sword that cuts both ways, because that huge investment from red if they want to take Bravo, yeah, it's hard to rotate it. On the other hand, if red never goes into Bravo at all, then blue almost always is going to garrison this with a reasonable amount of troops. And that's just points that blue is going to have off to the side, not engaging on the rest of the map. So like, the decision whether to take that or not just decides who's wasted their points. It's almost an argument against doing that push for red, because just let blue waste their points there, that's fine.
I mean, usually it's like a recon squad or like a chalk or lion squad. But
Yeah.
like it's they only put enough there to stop probes and like have an ATGM shoot out across.
Because anything
Because
more would be
like they
wasteful.
just need a tripwire to see you, because it's right next to the spawn. So if they get enough a heads up, they can just reinforce and
Yeah.
probably win that war.
Although the path here is actually pretty long, because remember the land reinforcement mark is this side, so you'll go all the way through here, over the bridge, and then through. Like it's kind of like the bridge crossing in Nuclear, where it takes a good 2 minutes to get over there, and for tracked anyway. I don't know the exact timing here, but it's not short. I do like... I mean, red can't sit, right? With 9 minutes left, possible in the match, red can't sit. So I do like that Serbian Eagle is trying to make something happen. It just feels like a little bit too little too late here, as blue has control of most of the map. So this will, if blue wins this would be the second win for Team Rara, and they will continue on in the tournament into round 2 of the single elimination bracket. So it looks like we have that to look forward to. And I think they'll be playing the winner of Team Osama, Team Lord Pi. So that should be another good set as well. I think Osama bin Lifton and Lord Pi are both very, very good players. So I look forward to seeing that as well. Do you have any sort of not clothing. I hope you have clothing. Do you have any sort of closing thoughts here?
Yeah, well, to really summarize the match, red was too slow in taking Bravo, and in golf, they could have won, but they just got out microed too much by the other team.
Yeah, that's fair. That's entirely fair. Alright, well, let's go a little bit quickly here as we do get into the last single minute. And it looks like there's not a ton going on, just really the conclusion and the acknowledgement of the stalemate as blue ticks +1 into 500 points. And the Vihor unfortunately dying. You know, if red was going to rotate, I think another possibility might have been if red just said, you know what, to heck with golf. And when we were talking earlier about pushing Foxtrot, just really getting good maintenance on the low ground in Fox, and that might have been another way to relieve pressure. So, 5,560 points for blue, 4,170 for red, and the trading there does favor blue, 500 conquest to 100, and Team Rara proceeds to round 2. Sasha, thank you again for joining me. I hope we can have you on for some more games pretty soon. And to everyone who stuck around, thank you. We'll have more stuff for you very soon.